In the southern African country of Namibia, the government has announced a significant policy shift, one that requires visitors, especially from the United States and other Western countries, to apply for a visa before entering the nation, known for its breathtaking landscapes, wildlife, and the world's oldest desert. Beginning April 1st, American travelers will need to apply for a visa in advance using Namibia's online visa portal. But those arriving at major entry points like airports and high-volume border crossings will still have the option to purchase a visa on arrival, according to the US Embassy. This brings an end to a long-standing visa-free policy, which previously allowed US tourists to stay up to 90 days without a visa. But this isn't just about tourism. It's a diplomatic tit-for-tat move. Backed by Namibia's first female president, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, who took charge last week. Her government is taking a stand against the United States and other Western nations that deny visa-free entry to Namibians. And this move didn't come out of nowhere. Last May, Namibia announced it would require visas from nationals of countries that don't reciprocate visa-free travel for Namibians. A total of 31 countries, including the US and the UK, were listed under this policy shift. Moreover, this decision comes amid growing frustration across Africa over strict US visa policies. Just last month, the US released its 2025 visa waiver list, granting visa-free entry to travelers from 40 countries. But not a single African nation made the cut. And for Africans, securing a US visa has never been easy. The process involves long applications, expensive fees, and high rejection rates. Meanwhile, tourists from the United States have had it relatively easy, walking into African countries without a visa, or at most paying a small fee upon arrival. And social media has taken notice of this. Many users are applauding Namibia's move, calling it a long overdue push for reciprocity. Others see it as a bold stand against Western dominance. But not everyone agrees. Some worry that even a small drop in high-spending American visitors could impact investment and tourism in the country. Tourism is a big business for Namibia. The country welcomed more than 800,000 international visitors in 2023. Among them, 22,544 were from the United States, a small but significant number. Despite the policy shift, officials remain confident that Namibia will continue to attract international visitors. But this decision goes beyond tourism. It's a statement about fairness, diplomacy, and Africa's place in global travel. And Namibia is no longer waiting for permission to set its own terms.
All right, so I see Namibia, the new Namibian president doing her thing. All right, so this is my take on this new policy that they have. And again, if you haven't done so already, kindly subscribe to the channel. Definitely comment, subscribe on this video, and I'll definitely reply to your comments. But okay, so I really believe that the concept of reciprocity and concessions has been a foreign language to African diplomats for ages, because this is a no-brainer, right? And I actually kind of believe that. I think that when African countries have women presidents, they're more diplomatic than the male counterparts. I really think women presidents in Africa is just like in Liberia. I think the women presidents grab the idea of a smart way of diplomacy more than a lot of male presidents, because this is a no-brainer, right? If a country, if you allow a country to come into your country visa-free, how does it make sense that you have to apply for visa to go to the... I don't know. Like, I've never understood it. I'm happy that people are coming to their senses on the continent and they are demanding reciprocity, which is fair. If Your people come into my country visa free. My people should be able to come into your country visa free. If there's a 1% tariff on cocoa coming in, it should be 1% coming in. If there is a stipend on this, this is common negotiations that diplomats, ambassadors, and people who are in charge of international trade negotiations, whether it's trade in services, trade in goods, they should know this. And they should be able to negotiate this things properly. I think African countries, I don't know if I should say is we've had people who are not qualified to be in these positions, and that is why we have gone ages with disrespect, with various unfair practices on the international stage. I really think so. So I'm happy that Namibia has done this. I love Namibia. It's one of my favorite countries. One of the best countries, in my opinion, to retire. And another thing that, was pointed out in the video, that this is going to harm tourism. I don't think so. I think if you really want to still visit Namibia, people who want to visit are still going to visit Namibia. Another thing I want to talk about again is that why do we think that it's only, Westerners, Europeans, Americans who love to do tourism? Africans on the continent love to tour as well. The only problem is that visa requirements are so stringent. So when like the regular African thinks about, oh, I have to apply for visa. And again, you have to understand that most of the times, if the person is not aware of visa rules and things like that, and because America is one of the most popular places to travel to, and other European countries, and the mindset of how difficult it is to apply for these visas, people will think that, oh, it's almost the same for all African countries as well. So they won't even try to apply because they're thinking it's going to be as difficult as it is to apply for European countries. But when we relax visa rules for counter AU countries, African Union countries, and member states on the continent, you will see that Africans are going to be touring African countries, and it's going to contribute not only to like the GDP, the economic growth of the country, but also to the socialness, the friendliness, people from various African countries mingling together, empowering the youth, because it's like we are all foreigners on the same continent. It shouldn't be so. When people are able to travel, look at the cultures, you see that we are not that different. Africans are not that different. It's like when I went to Zambia, Nshima is fufu. It's just that we call it all different things, but it's the same food. It's the same vibe. So relaxing visa rules, and it should not just be, for European countries. It should also be for African countries. We need to get to the point where other African countries can travel to African countries visa free, because Africans love to travel. Africans love to tour, and there are people who have money in Africa to do so. And once you relax visa rules, people are not going to worry about, okay, I'm just going to worry about my flight and accommodation. And that's it. So I think this is great for Namibia. I think this is other countries should follow suit. And I'm not thinking about this in a way that, you get America. No, it's reciprocity. It's reciprocity, right? If your people are coming to my country visa free, we should be able to come into your country visa free. Shikena, that's it. So may I compliment the new Namibian president, may she live long and may her rule be great. Peace. Full chest.